Hello, my name is Pusnam Yuri. I teach leaders the secrets of personal development. In this video, I want to talk to you about why bad leadership flourishes, especially in Africa. There are four things I want you to understand. Number one is a bad leadership culture. A bad leadership culture is not just about one person or two or three or four. It is about the system. The system has already gone through bad experiences or a bad kind of operation, and now it has become a culture. A culture is a way of life. What that means is this: even if you remove an existing bad leader, you can only replace him with another bad leader because in this bad system, not only the leaders are bad, but also the followers because you get leaders from the followers. So in a bad leadership culture, the followers are bad. So because the followers are bad, anytime you want to get leaders, you elect them from bad followers. So if you don't overcome bad leadership culture, there is no way you are going to have good leaders. You may have one or two leaders who are still looking good in a bad leadership culture, but it's just a matter of time. The system can easily swallow them up. So it takes courage. It takes a very good, understanding of godly values for a system, for a leader to be able to overcome a bad leadership culture. That is why it is very important for us to move backward and start afresh, to focus on mentoring godly and visionary leaders from an early age. That's the best way for us to be able to push out a bad leadership culture and replace it with a new leadership culture, but from the early stage. Number two, selfishness. In a bad leadership culture, most leaders are selfish. They look for their own interests always. They are always asking, what can I get? A bad leader in a bad leadership culture is always asking, what can I get out of it? What will my family get out of it? What will my friends and well wishers get out of it? They hardly ask, what can I give to make it better? What can I give to make it um, move from ordinary to extraordinary? I read a book some time ago, and the author talks about givers and takers. So, in a bad leadership culture, bad leaders are takers, they are not givers. They don't give, they take. So, selfishness is the second reason bad leadership flourishes in a place. And number three, bad leadership, also bad leaders, I mean, they are flourishing because they are doing everything possible to protect their interests, everything possible to protect their interests. And because of that, they have partners in a bad leadership culture. It is not easy. It is not the job of one person. It is not the effort of one person. They have partners. They have partners. And because of that, they are also mentoring many young people to take over from them. Number four, the control of power by all means. The control of power by all means. And what does it mean? It simply means that they are afraid because if they lose power, they won't have security around them. They won't have sustainability in that system around them. So that is why, in a bad leadership culture, bad leaders make sure they get power by all means. They get and maintain it through violence. They get and maintain it through bravery. No matter what, they cannot afford to lose power because if they lose it, their secrets will be exposed. So these are some of the reasons bad leadership is flourishing in a bad leadership culture. It is not just about changing a leader, it is about focusing on changing the system. And this is a long time plan. It is not something that you can achieve in one day or in two. It is something that you can achieve in a long time plan. It is not something you can achieve with a revolutionary, approach. Yes, you can remove a bad leader with a revolutionary approach, but you cannot change a bad leadership culture with a revolutionary approach. The best approach that can enable the introduction of a good leadership culture in a bad leadership situation is a kind of evolutionary approach, not a revolutionary. Revolutionary can remove a bad leader, but only evolutionary approach can introduce a good leadership system that can eradicate, a bad leadership system gradually, because it takes time for a bad leadership culture to be developed and to be maintained. But so it's not something you can remove in a day, but it's something that you can remove layer by layer, the same way you use an onion. My name is Pusnam Yiri. I teach leaders the secrets of personal development. I wish you the best. Don't become a bad leader. Together, we can eradicate a bad leadership culture and replace it with a good leadership culture. How can we do that? We need to move backward and raise godly and visionary leaders from an early age. And that is the vision of our foundation. Bye bye.